Hey, welcome. In this lecture, we are going to be able to either approve or reject new vendors. Okay. Now, in order to do this, we have to go back to our VS Code. And what we want to do is immediately the vendor gets approved, we then want to take that vendor to a new screen. Okay. Now, what we can do is within the screens folder, we can create a new file and we are going to call this main underscore vendor underscore screen. Then the extension is dot. And now we can create a stateless widget and also main vendor then screen. And what we have to do is to alight and use control and dot in order to import the material to that package. In order to have access to a lot of property Flutter has, we can then return a scaffold widget instead. And within the scaffold, it has a property known as body. And we can have a center widget to center our widget. And the child is going to take in a test widget. And for now, it's just going to say approved. And after the vendor gets approved, we want to take the vendor to the screen. And over here, within our fields, you can see we have this field called approved, and default it is set to false. And for the now, we're going to be doing this manually. That is, we're going to be approving this vendor manually from our Cloud Firestore database. But in the future, we're going to be doing this from the admin panel. Okay. And what we have to do is to go now to the landing screen. And before this return center widget, we want to have a check. We can call, sorry, first of all, we can have this if, and we can say if the vendor user model, and we basically want to access the approved. If it is equal to true, remember we basically use this double equal to check equality. If it's equal to true, then we want to return the main vendor screen. Else, if it is not equal to true, then this next code is just going to run. You can also just add the S and copy and paste that. Copy and paste this. So basically, if this is not true, the next code is just going to run. So really, we do not need that S. And use Ctrl and S to save, and let's try this out. You can see default, it is set to false. It means the vendor is yet to be approved. And you can see we have this test over here. And it says your application has been sent to shop admin. Admin will get back to you soon. And now let's get back to that vendor. Click on this and we can set this to true. Click on update and let's see what's going to happen. And basically we have to restart this one more time. And okay, you can see approved. And what about setting this back to false? Um, False. And this should take us back to this. And let's set it back to true again to approve that vendor. And let's go check it again. Okay, and now you can see we are able to approve and reject vendors. Seems really cool. Seems really cool. And I'm just gonna approve the vendor. Approved. The truth. Seems cool. And now you know how to do this. Seems really cool, right?